You know, when this whole Kevin Hart Diddy thing landed on my desk for a deep dive, I have to admit, I thought, oh boy, another celebrity scandal.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
another party gone wrong.
Sure.
But after actually taking a look at these articles we got,
Yeah.
it's
It gets kind of dark.
it's a lot more than just a party gone wrong.
Yeah. This is not your average, champagne and confetti situation.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, where do we even start with this?
I think what's really interesting here is how quickly this story goes from, you said, a party to, a much darker place.
Yeah.
And it's like a side of these events, these parties that I don't think we would normally see.
Right. And we are talking about some, really serious potential legal stuff here.
Absolutely. We're talking
this is not...
Yeah.
This is not just a noise violation.
No, this is serious accusations.
Yeah.
So for those who haven't been following every single twist and turn of this story,
let's back up a little.
Let's set the scene.
Yeah, paint us a picture.
Okay, so we're talking a party at Diddy's place, right?
At Diddy's estate.
Estate, yeah.
With Kevin Hart in attendance.
Kevin Hart's there.
Yeah.
Things get out of hand, to put it mildly.
Yeah, one of these articles even mentioned someone's hair catching on fire.
Oh, yeah.
I mean...
I forgot about that detail.
What kind of party was this?
Right, and that's actually a good jumping off point because it gets into this whole thing about what are called freak-off parties that are often associated with Diddy. And that term itself kind of speaks volumes about the atmosphere we're talking about here.
So this isn't just your average, backyard barbecue.
It's not a casual get-together.
Right.
It's important to understand what that term actually means and the kind of activities that go on.
And these parties seem to be at the center of these legal issues that Diddy is facing now.
Exactly.
We were talking about accusations of sex trafficking and racketeering. I mean, these are incredibly serious charges.
These are very serious accusations, and we need to be very clear about that this isn't just wild night accusations. This is like a pattern of potentially criminal behavior.
Yeah.
And when you dig into the articles, they detail these accusations from multiple women who claim that Diddy used his power and influence and potentially drugs to coerce them into sexual acts at these parties.
Wow.
And one detail, and this might seem insignificant at first, but when you think about it in the context of everything else, it's pretty disturbing.
Okay.
They found a silver sex toy just casually on his bed.
Oh, my.
It's nothing.
Yeah.
But in the context of these accusations, it takes on a whole new meaning.
Yeah, that is not a good look.
Not a good look.
Not a good look at all. And it's so different from how we normally think about Diddy, right?
Right.
Like we think about... the
music,
the mogul, the success, and then you have this other side.
Exactly. And speaking of contrasting images, we have to talk about Kevin Hart being there.
Right.
One of the articles focuses on this leaked video of him at the party. Oh, right.
And he's using some,
colorful language.
Yeah, colorful language and just generally being Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
But maybe a little too Kevin Hart.
Yeah. I mean, he's known for his persona and pushing boundaries.
Yeah.
But this is where things get kind of murky because it's how far is too far, especially given the context of what we're now learning about these parties.
Exactly.
It makes you wonder.
Yeah. It's almost like because it's Kevin Hart, we're almost programmed to be like, oh, that's just Kevin.
It's just Kevin being Kevin, but then you're like, wait a minute, look at the situation around him.
Exactly.
It really highlights how much context matters.
It does.
In another situation, that video might be whatever, but knowing where it was and what was going on, it really makes you question his judgment.
Yeah.
And the company he keeps.
For sure. And the court of public opinion did not hold back on this one.
Oh, no.
The articles talk about this immediate backlash.
Oh, yes. Social media was on fire.
People were really questioning, what was Kevin thinking?
Right. Why would you even put yourself in that position?
Especially with those accusations against Diddy.
Exactly.
It's one thing to be friends with someone, but...
It's a whole other level.
When there's potential.
When there's serious accusations.
Yeah, serious accusations like that.
And it brings up this whole other issue of, accountability. Can we separate our public and private lives anymore?
Right.
And should we be judged for who we hang out with?
It's a tough one.
It is a slippery slope.
Yeah, and I mean, this isn't just about what people are saying online.
No.
These accusations against Diddy could have real legal consequences.
Absolutely. And they are already.
One article even said that he's currently in jail.
Yeah, he's awaiting trial.
And on suicide watch?
Yeah. It's a lot.
That is intense.
That's a far cry from the Diddy we're used to seeing.
Right.
Like the parties and the music video. That's not reality for him right now.
Not at all.
This is serious stuff. He's facing serious charges, potential prison time.
Yeah. It really puts things in perspective.
It does. It makes you realize that behind all the fame and the money, there are real consequences.
Absolutely.
For your actions.
And it makes you wonder, like, how is Kevin Hart handling all of this?
Right. What's going through his mind?
I mean, the articles mentioned that he's trying to distance himself from Diddy now.
Yeah. Which makes sense.
But it also makes you wonder, like, how much damage has already been done.
Right. Is it too little too late?
Exactly. It's a mess.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy to get caught up in the gossip of it all.
Right.
But there are real people whose lives are being affected by this.
Absolutely. And, you know, we talk a lot about, like, the responsibility of public figures.
Right.
In these situations, but this story also makes me think about, like, our own responsibility.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Like, as people who read these stories and follow along.
Yeah, like are we part of the problem?
Well, I mean, are we demanding the full story, or are we just clicking for the juiciest details?
That's a good question.
And are we thinking about the potential consequences for everyone involved?
Yeah, not just like the celebrities, but like everyone.
The people who might be going through something really difficult.
It's heavy stuff.
It is. It's not just entertainment.
No, it's real life.
Exactly. And I think it's a good reminder that we can't just take things at face value. We have to be willing to dig deeper, to question what we see and read.
And to remember that there are multiple sides to every story.
Exactly.
Well said. So we started this deep dive with what seemed like a pretty straightforward request. Tell us about the Kevin Hart Diddy party.
Yeah.
But wow, there's so much more going on here.
It's a rabbit hole for sure.
It really is. And it just goes to show that behind these headlines, the viral videos, there are real lives being impacted.
Real consequences.
So if we've learned anything from all of this, it's that things are rarely as simple as they seem.
Right. We have to be careful about making judgments based on limited information.
Absolutely. And we have to remember that everyone involved is a human being.
With their own story to tell.
Exactly.